Hey guys, this is on Productions, aka number 673, and I'm back in Cinders Part 5. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's late, so I'm sorry for any weirdness. Let's just go on. Whatever happened to the perfect, glorious, outspoken Gloria? One scolding from Mom is all it takes to shut you up. I don't have time to deal with your childish jealousy right now, but watch your tongue. It will certainly get you into trouble one day. Anyway, you two heard Mother. Dinner must be ready in 2 hours, so get started. What? Why do we have to get dinner ready? Because I'll be busy taking care of Mother's other needs, like getting the wood chopped. If you'd rather not, I can tell Mother that you refuse to obey her orders. Fine, I'll do it. Just pray that your food isn't poisoned. Heh! As if you'd had the guts to do such a thing, little sister. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have duties to attend to. Well, looks like I'm stuck working with you, Cinders. Why were you so cruel to Gloria? You sure told her. You know, even though I kind of want to be on your good side, I kind of want to be on Gloria's good side as well, because I kind of don't hate any of you. I only hate the mother. I don't hate the two of you. So why were you so cruel to Gloria? Why were you so cruel to Gloria? Why? Don't you hate her too? Well, maybe, but you're his sister. Aren't you supposed to support each other? Oh, if only Gloria believed that. There is certainly no support here, and it's mostly her fault. She always acts so smug and self-righteous, but there's no trace of her own will or personality in there. She's just trying to copy Mom, even though it's impossible. And of course, she takes out all her frustration on me. She probably thinks Mom recognizes her more if she keeps degrading me. I have no reason to be kind to her. I understand, but don't you wish that would change? Living under Camosa is hard enough already. Wouldn't it be better to band together instead of fight each other? Maybe, but what does it matter? Why am I even discussing this with you? I must be getting desperate. Of course, I want to be on better terms with Gloria, but she drew a line a long time ago. I may not be as clever or as beautiful as a mom like Gloria, but I'm not naive. People don't change. Don't put yourself down. You're just as beautiful as Gloria, and I may say that you're very much more beautiful than your mother. I don't know about clever, because I don't know how clever you are, but yeah. Don't put yourself down like that. And your dress is beautiful. They'll remain cruel as long as it benefits them. That's such a sad outlook on life. It must really be hard for you growing up. Oh please, I don't need your pity. I don't need pity, especially not from you. Life is horrid, and no amount of sweet words will change that. Now let's go get dinner ready before we get in trouble. It'll be nice having someone help me with dinner for once. Hurry up and take out all the ingredients we're going to need. Why me? Isn't it obvious? I hardly step a foot in the place, so naturally I don't know where anything is. Naturally, that doesn't mean you can't help with the preparation, though. I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? There's no way you can prepare dinner in 2 hours alone. I'll be in just as much as you. If it's not done, Mother isn't forgiving towards anyone. I figured out that much myself. Now, here are all the ingredients. Yuck! The stink is unbelievable. Are they rotting or something? No, this is how vegetables smell. They do grow in soil, you know. Sure, but I can't believe you actually lived in this order. I bet sometimes you must feel rather must feel like a rather large carrot yourself. Beetroot, maybe. It's very funny, Sophia. Besides, it wasn't exactly my own choice to move in here. Used to have proper bedroom before Gloria took it. Of course, how could I forget? Still, you should be grateful. They say harsh conditions help to build character. You're bound to become a diamond here, while poor Gloria softens with every passing hour. Can you give me a break for once? If that's how it looks going to look, I prefer to risk Hermosa's anger and prepare dinner alone. Oh, fine, don't be so uptight, sis. One Gloria in this house is one too many. So, what was it like here before we moved in with you, anyway? Sure, tell her. Why not? Do you really want to know? Of course, we've got to talk about something or else it'll be awfully dull in here. You just can't admit that you're actually interested in my life. Well, if you must know, the moment I started talking I decided it's better to imagine you're a character from some bad romance novel. It's much less personal like that. You're such a darling sometimes. I know, right? I may not be the worst of the best in the family, but you can't accuse me of lacking creativity. But let's get back to the book you're in. Well, life was different when Father was alive, more carefree, although I suppose that's how childhood is. Father had a way with kids. I think he was a rather big child himself, always dreaming. I loved it back then. I see. How do you feel about it now? It was great, it was too dreamy, it was suffocating. You know, having a childish parent isn't that bad, really. I think it's wonderful. Both my parents can be very childish sometimes. So yeah, that's not a bad thing, and it's wonderful. So yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. I loved it all so much. Everything was so magical. He tried very hard to keep the worries of life away from me. It was like living in a fairy tale. Demons. I used to wonder what having a proper father would be like, but I think I'm all cured now. It sounds like keeping in touch with reality wasn't exactly his fault. That may be, but I was just a kid with a happy childhood. There's some dreams you just don't want to wake up from. Yeah, when you're a little child, you deserve to be happy, and you don't have to worry about anything, okay? I'm sorry. What about your mother? Do you remember her? Unfortunately, she passed away giving birth to me. I still feel guilty about it, even though I know it doesn't make any sense. Father told me a lot about her, but I don't know if that's just how it was or just an idealized image. Either way, I know that her death had a huge impact on him. I think he was very lonely. Perhaps that's why he preferred to get lost in his dreams rather than face real life. I'm sure it got even worse after we came into your life, huh? Ew, this onion is making my eyes wet. Give that to me, I'll chop it. If you rinse the knife first, it shouldn't sting that much. As for you, I'd say my life was definitely different after you came in. Oh, just be honest. I know your life has been miserable ever since your father married a lovely mother. Trust me, it's not like Gloria and I wanted this either, and yet here we are, one big happy family. We can be all awfully cynical at times. How you noticed? Fine then, yes, my life got worse when you showed up. I'm a servant, no a slave in my own house. Not like you'd understand. Yes, what could I possibly know about it? Stupid onion. Sounds to me like it's your turn to talk about your life. Well, there's not much to say. That can't be true. It's obvious that a lot happened to you and Gloria. You wouldn't be like this otherwise. Besides, you said you wanted a conversation, so tell me about yourself. Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. When we were children, we lived out in the countryside. Our house wasn't as nice as this one, though. Our father was a military man, got himself killed in some war, and left mother a widow. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. Hardly ever saw the man. When he was around, he was like a complete stranger, not a proper father at all. His death meant nothing to us. What about Hermosa? It must have affected her, and maybe that's why she's the way she is now. Is that supposed to be a joke? Mom didn't care about him any more than we did. Then why did she marry him? Well, why does anyone get married? For love, for political gains, for many reasons. Well, in this world, I live in and you live in, people marry for love, but not always. Sometimes where I live, people marry for love, but somewhere, something, it's all about politics. So I guess it's for many reasons, because I want to say love, but I don't think I'm that innocent, naive. I know sometimes people marry for political gains. That's how it is. But let's say for many reasons. There are a lot of reasons for people to get married. I don't think I can give one solid answer. Some do it to attain higher status or more riches. It's also a way to ensure you aren't alone when you're old. And sometimes love, or at least mutual respect, plays a role too. You're right. For instance, an ugly girl like me would only attract men looking for status. They would try to climb the social ladder using my back for rungs. For rungs? You know, you're not ugly. Why do you think you're ugly? You're not. You're beautiful. It was the opposite with Mother. She used her looks to attract a man of the higher social standing. If you had a penchant for melodrama, you could say she climbed his dead body to where she is now. Camosa comes from a poor family. She had a title of nobility. They lost most of their riches and splendor. The only way for her to advance up the social ladder was to marry, and she was ambitious. She married an officer who was relatively rich and had a lot of correlates. She probably planned ahead even there. For all I know, she chose a man who would probably die in battle so she could marry even higher later. How can you say that? That's such a cruel assumption. Cruel? It's not like she killed him. He would have died anyway. She just wanted something more out of life. Still a cold thing to do. Cold? Sure it's cold. It's business. I don't see what's wrong with it. Mother's not dumb. She did what she had to. There's not much room in this world for women with ambitions, so you take what you can get. So back then, was your life as bad as it is now? Worse. What? How so? Well, you weren't around. Listen, if you're not around, who do you think becomes the victim? Oh, like that. Mothers needed a scapegoat, and Gloria would do anything to please that woman. I'm not as pretty smart and ambitious as them, so naturally she humiliated me, and Mom didn't disapprove. And now I'm here, they no longer target you, is that it? That's exactly it. Mom and Gloria have no scapegoat, and my life is finally a little better. Oh, I see. So now you're no longer tormented, so you choose to torment me instead. Of course, nothing personal, but it's either you or me, and I certainly won't be a victim again. Besides, you should be grateful. Did your father shield you from the real world too much? Well, now you get to see exactly what it's like. That's the way of all things. You're either the hunter or the prey. As long as Mother and Gloria focus on you, I can go back to being my own worthless self. You are so cruel! Oh, you are not worthless. You are not worthless. Stop putting yourself down so much. It's annoying. Just listen to yourself. You're not worthless, ugly, stupid, or even cruel. My. And what has made you an expert all of a sudden? That's ridiculous. It's obvious the person you hate the most is yourself, but you have no reason to. So you make up all these excuses like you're too stupid, ugly, or worthless, when you know it's not true. But it's still an easy way out, isn't it? You prefer to convince yourself you're nothing, so nobody will expect anything more from you. You don't have to change or do anything if you're worthless after all. And you sound like you're trying to convince yourself that you're all-knowing. You're not worthless, Sophia. You know that. It's much endearing how hard you try to see good in other people, but you're just being naive. It's not naive at all. I was paying attention when you were talking, and I learned something important. You think you're worthless because you can't measure up to Camosa or Gloria, but it's the opposite. Camosa is a woman. I can't. I have to end the episode here. See you in the next one. Bye!